terrifying horse was brought forward. The horse was so wild that no one dared to go near it. All of the king's expert riders tried to tame it but failed. Then the king's 12-year-old son stepped forward. He carefully observed the horse and realized that it was frightened of its own shadow. The boy immediately turned the horse's face towards the sun, gently patted its neck, and in the blink of an eye mounted its back. As soon as the horse calmed down, silence fell over the entire court. The king was astonished and said, "My son, this small kingdom is far too little for you. You will conquer the whole world." That boy grew up to become history's greatest conqueror, the one we know today as Alexander the Great. In today's video, we will tell you how the intelligence and courage of a boy made him the most powerful ruler in the world. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, because this story will take you on an unforgettable journey of wonder. Alexander the Great ascended the throne at just 20 years old. At the age of 25, he crushed the world's largest Persian empire, and by 32, he had become the most powerful man on earth. When Alexander was only 13, his father entrusted him to the world's greatest philosopher, Aristotle. Aristotle not only taught him philosophy, but also broadened his mind. From age 13 to 16, Alexander studied philosophy, statesmanship, military strategies, logic, medicine, and science under Aristotle. One day Aristotle said to him, "The world is nothing but a map, and you are the hand that will draw upon it. You can change the lines of the earth if you make your mind your greatest weapon." These words were not just lessons, but a spark. Alexander's eyes lit up. He looked up at the sky, and in that moment, it was not the thought of being a prince that filled his heart. It was the belief that he would one day rule the entire world. From then on, his only desire was conquest. Not just Macedonia, but Asia, Africa, and even lands unknown. He had resolved that he would not only be the emperor of swords, but also the ruler of thought, philosophy, and human spirit. At the age of 20, Alexander's father, King Philip, was assassinated. Historians differ. Some say it was due to a personal feud, while others claim Alexander's mother, Olympias, orchestrated it, fearing that Philip's new marriage might produce another heir. That night, Philip's blood was spilled, and Alexander transformed from prince to emperor. But sitting on the throne was not easy. There were many enemies in the Macedonian court, and rumors spread across Greece. A child has become king. Now is the time to shake the foundations of the empire. Yet the young king astonished everyone with bold and decisive action. Many thought he would not last long, but Alexander crushed the internal conspiracies, stabilized Macedonia, and subdued the rebellious Greek states that thought Macedonia would collapse after Philip's death. When the city of Thebes revolted, Alexander struck hard. The city was completely destroyed, sending a chilling message to all other states. Now Alexander turned his eyes eastward, where the mighty Persian Empire awaited. On his way, he conquered smaller kingdoms or forged alliances, but his real test was the Persian king Darius. Darius had hundreds of thousands of soldiers, immense wealth, and vast lands. Alexander had only 40,000 elite troops and an unbreakable, burning resolve. The first great battle took place at Issus. With cunning strategy, Alexander disrupted the enemy lines by using his cavalry, forcing the fight into the very center where Darius himself stood. During the chaos, Darius panicked and fled, leaving behind his mother, wife, and daughters who fell into Alexander's custody. But Alexander treated them with respect. He told Darius's mother, "I will not treat you as the mother of an enemy, but as a queen." Even his enemies were stunned by such honor. Later, Darius tried to regroup and even sent Alexander an offer. "Let us divide the world in half. You take the west, I will take the east." Alexander refused. Two kings cannot live under one sun. The next decisive battle took place at Gaugamela. Darius's forces once again outnumbered Alexander's. But through flawless strategy, discipline, and the loyalty of his men, Alexander triumphed. Darius once again fled, but this time his own generals betrayed and killed him, hoping to win Alexander's mercy. When Alexander found Darius's body, he was deeply saddened. He punished the killers and gave Darius a royal burial. Now Alexander was the ruler of the great Persian Empire. After Persia, Alexander marched to Egypt. The people there, tired of Persian oppression, welcomed him as a savior. The religious leaders even granted him the sacred title of Pharaoh. But Alexander was not just a conqueror, he was a visionary. At the mouth of the Nile, he founded the city of Alexandria, designing its map himself, with plans for the world's largest library and a great lighthouse. He pressed on, reaching the lands of modern-day Pakistan and India. There he faced King Porus, Purushotama, a seasoned ruler with an army of powerful war elephants and loyal soldiers. The battle was fierce. The ground trembled under the elephants. Arrows filled the sky, and Porus's soldiers fought with unmatched bravery. But Alexander knew how to turn challenges into opportunities. He isolated the elephants, used swift cavalry to flank the enemy, and fought in the front lines himself. After a long, brutal battle, Porus was wounded and captured. Alexander asked him, "How should I treat you?" Porus replied, "Treat me as one king treats another." Alexander was deeply impressed. He realized true victory lay not only in defeating enemies but also in winning their hearts. He not only forgave Porus but restored his kingdom and made him an ally. By then, Alexander's empire stretched across Macedonia, Greece, Asia Minor, modern Turkey, Egypt, Mesopotamia, Persia, Afghanistan, Central Asia, and the Indian subcontinent, the largest empire the world had ever seen. But his soldiers, exhausted after years of war, refused to march further east toward the Ganges River. For the first time, Alexander's army said no. They longed not for conquest but for home. Alexander accepted their decision. He also married princesses from Persia, Afghanistan, and Central Asia, not only out of love, but as a political strategy to unite nations. It is even said that around 1% of the world's population today carries Alexander's DNA. On his return journey at Babylon, modern Iraq, Alexander fell ill with a mysterious fever. At only 32 years old, the world's greatest conqueror passed away, without ever returning to his homeland of Macedonia. In just 12 short years, he achieved what others could not in lifetimes. He conquered half the known world, reshaped history, and became a legend. Alexander the Great was not only a master of the sword, but of wisdom, politics, and vision. And thus, the young man who became king at 20 left behind a legacy so powerful that the world still remembers him as Alexander the Great. Friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.